Good morning, students. Am I audible? Okay, then I think we can start, right? So, this is a class of professional elective 3 of 6th semester, and it is your rural water supply and on-site sanitation system. Okay, so we are in the fourth module basically. So that particular module is similar to the fifth module, so we can account both in the same manner. Okay, the fourth and fifth module are almost related to each other, so we can combine that. Okay, so in this class uh, basically we are going to discuss about septic tank. Fine. So a septic tank is also a kind of a on-site waste treatment technique, or you can say night soil treatment technique. Okay, when there is no a proper sewer network, one can go for installing or constructing a septic tank in a particular domestic area for collecting the night soil. Okay, and the purpose of septic tank basically it's what? It's to digest the night soil basically. Okay, basically it is done under anaerobic digestion, which is done by the anaerobic bacteria. Fine. So I think you have seen septic tank in nearby your areas, even in your house. Maybe you have also gone through the construction, the way of construction also. So we are going to discuss in detail about uh, septic tank and soak pit also. Okay. So in especially in case of rural area, and its toilet is connected to a soak pit basically. Okay, which is also low cost investment. You just need to dig out a soil up to certain depth. You may have to make a well kind of structure inside a ground, make well, the particular area of the dig is suppose area of the hole is constructed with a proper brick wall or RCC wall. Okay, then the waste water coming from the toilet that can be um, collected in the particular uh, soak pit. Okay, basically it's called peak, which is what is the purpose of the pit? To soak the water basically. That's why it's called soak pit. Okay, the water stored in the particular pit was allowed to penetrate into the ground. Okay, or you can say the ground is soaking the water, so it's called soak pit basically. Okay, so I'll also show some diagram or a real picture of soak pit also can be used in rural level. Fine. So basically what is when it comes to septic tank, it allows a safe disposal of wastewater. And hence it is basically widely popular and widely used. Okay, especially in a particular area where a drainage system is not provided, or you can say the drainage system is poor, or you can say the main sewer network is not installed. Okay, in that case you can go for constructing a septic tank. Fine. So let's share my screen for this. Wait. So is it visible to you? I think it is visible, right? So let's proceed. So basically, we'll start from the beginning again. So on-site sanitations are the option which helps treat the waste at source rather than dealing it several miles away in a centralized manner. So these things are already discussed with you. This is the basic difference between on-site sanitation and off-site sanitation. So, so on-site sanitation system are the option which help treat the waste at source. That means at the site only we can go for treating the waste. It's called on-site sanitation. Rather than dealing it, that means rather than treating the waste several miles away in a centralized manner. Okay. So when it this term that taking the waste miles away from the source and go for treating or disposing, it is basically known as off-site sanitation. Okay, and this is your on-site sanitation. So in the absence of sewerage system or piped supply, a particular community have to devise decentralized way to deal with this shit. Okay. Some of the most common on-site sanitation systems include septic tank and pit latrine. So regarding pit latrine, we have already discussed right in the previous classes. Different kind of pit latrine we have discussed. Dry latrine, dry privy or wet privy we have discussed. Okay. So septic tank is also one kind of on-site sanitation you can consider. Okay. So the area that are not served with piped sewage system can adopt on-site sanitation. Okay, the treatment can be either on-site or off-site, like in the case of septage management. Septage management means the particular waste coming out from the septic tank. The water, the wastewater coming out of the septic tank after treatment, it is known as basically septage. Okay, that means you can see the output of the septic tank. These are interim measured till a decentralized or a full sewerage system is implemented. Okay, so you can say a septic tank, adoption of septic tank is a kind of a backup plan. Okay, or you can say the on-site sanitation is itself is a backup plan. Okay, since since okay since there is no facility for centralized waste collection treatment or collection plan, it is strongly recommended that the town planning agencies, authorities, okay, or metropolitan development authority, that is your municipality authority, to mark the adequate space for laying the sewer lines or construction of STP. What is STP? Your sewage treatment plant, basically. Okay. An on-site sanitation system includes a wide range of facilities, such as a basic sanitation facilities like pit latrine, a simple sewage treatment system that consists of a septic tank and soak pit. For anaerobic treatment, so I already told you that a septic tank, in septic tank, an aerobic decomposition occurs. Okay, and that can also adopt advanced facility like Jukosu that treat sewage by sophisticated method. That term Jokasu is basically a Japanese term, and you can say it's a Japanese technology uh, that can be used for sewage treatment. Okay, so it's kind of additional information. I'll also show the information regarding Jokosu technology, okay, in coming classes. Okay, so it's kind of a separate kind of uh, waste treatment unit. Okay, it's like a just like a water treatment water purifier that you have installed in your household. So a pre manufactured a treatment unit also come. Okay, it is basically designed by this Jokozo technology. Okay, so we'll discuss about that in coming classes. Anyway, so it's a kind of a new tech proposed by Japanese. Okay, so anyway, so in an urban area with high population density, a sewage treatment plant intensively treated sewage collected by pipes laid over a wide area. Okay, so this is all about your offsite sanitation, where a centralized pipe system is laid. So you can go for offsite sanitation. But in case of onsite sanitation, you have to go for treating the waste nearby the source. So the onsite system treat the sewage near the sources, basically. Fine. So under onsite sanitation system, we have discussed pit preview, right? Different type of pit preview. Similarly, we can also go for adopting septic tank. So simple treatment method, a septic tank system is a typical on-site treatment facility that consists of a septic tank and soak pit. Okay, and employs two technologies. First is anaerobic treatment, and the second is the method of letting treated sewage penetrate the ground. Okay, so I'll show you one diagram for a real picture. Okay, let me show you a soak pit. You can see this diagram. Okay, so in this particular diagram, you can see this is I don't know where it is located basically. So it's kind of a rural area from the surrounding. You can assume, right? This is a kind of a rural area, and a particular this toilet is connected to this soak pit basically. Okay, below this there is a septic tank, and a particular septic tank is connected to this soak pit. Although we can also go for directly connected to this soak pit. Okay, so why it is called soak pit? So basic definition of soak pit I'll show you. I think it will be there. So purpose of soak pit. So soak pit, it is also known as a soakway or leach pit. It is covered porous wall chamber that allow water to slowly soak into the ground. Okay, that means the water stored, the wastewater coming from the latrine, it will stored in a particular this pit. Okay, and with due due course of time, the water will penetrate into the ground below. Okay, in a downward direction. So after the full of this soak pit with the waste, it will be connected to the particular this toilet is connect latrine is connected to the second soak pit. Okay, so like this we can go for treating that waste in low cost manner. Fine, but the life of this soak pit is less, like 2-3 years, like that. Fine. Anyway, so a particular septic tank and soak pit works in a two technology. In the first stage, which is actually occur in the septic tank, and that is what your anaerobic digestion, or you can say anaerobic treatment. In the last previous classes, we have already discussed what is anaerobic. Anaerobic digestion means what, or anaerobic decomposition means what? The breakdown of the waste matter into smaller part or smaller component by the bacteria present in the waste, okay, without the help of oxygen. This is called anaerobic treatment. Okay, that means the biological treatment, a biological decomposition of the waste with the help of anaerobic bacteria. This is known as anaerobic treatment. So in case of anaerobic treatment, what happened? The solid waste coming from the latrine or toilet to the septic tank, okay, the large solid matters are broken down in a smaller part by the bacteria. Basically, they are known as anaerobic bacteria. Okay, they decompose the waste and they break down the waste, and finally they settle at the bottom of the septic tank. Okay, and the lighter waste compared the particular matters coming as a waste coming from the septic coming from the toilet, the particular waste lighter than water, they float in the water and they remain in the top layer as a scum. Okay, and they make a layer of scum and it's called scum layer. Okay, or you can say scum level. Fine. In the scum level, the bacteria are live and they break down the waste, and the particular smaller waste are fall down in the tank. Fine. So after the treatment, or after the anaerobic treatment of the waste in the septic tank, the particular water is connected to the soak pit. Okay, where the wastewater is allowed to penetrate into the ground. So it is the second phase basically. So the treated sewage is penetrate the ground. Okay. So the septic tank also reduce the BOD up to 50% basically. So from as this term, I think it is familiar to you. If anyone know about this full form, you can also write in the chat box. Are you aware of this term, BOD? Anyone? What is BOD? I think in the last semester you have know this thing, right? You have got these things, BOD. This is your what? This is your biochemical oxygen demand, right? The oxygen required for the decomposition of that uh, waste. It reduced because we don't. It is because in a septic tank we go for anaerobic treatment where there is a requirement of oxygen is less, so BOD will be reduced there. Okay, and also we have to check if the groundwater penetration is possible or not. If groundwater penetration is impossible, and in which cases the groundwater penetration is not possible. If you are providing a soak pit, if you are installing a soak pit, so before installation of soak pit, you have to check the level of groundwater. If your groundwater level is so high or nearby the ground, it is not recommended to go for providing a soak pit. Okay, because what is the purpose of soak pit? To allow water, wastewater to penetrate into the ground. And if the groundwater level is so nearby the ground, the wastewater directly go to the groundwater and it will pollute the groundwater. Okay, so you also need to check whether the groundwater level is near by ground or not. Okay, so if groundwater penetration is impossible due to high groundwater level or rocky strata or unavailability of land for soak pit, another method which may be employed to hygienically treat sewage passing through the soak pit. Okay, by installing a anaerobic filter. So there is another chamber also you can add with a septic tank. Okay, where the waste water can also be treated by anaerobic filter basically. Okay, so just like the uh, aqua preview we have discussed right in the previous class. In the aqua preview, if you remember, there is a three chamber, right? For in the first chamber, in aqua preview, we that waste is undergo anaerobic digestion in the anaerobic digestion chamber. After that, the particular waste go to the second chamber. It is called aerobic digestion chamber, where there is a provision of passes of air. Okay. After that, the waste will go to that filter, where the particular filter is filled with your brick bed or clinker like that. Okay, and the particular wastewater is go through that filtered matter and it filtrated. Okay, to some extent the water is filtered. Fine, but it is not meant to drinking or for drinking purposes. It can be used for agriculture or gardening purposes. Anyway, you can also go for one thing. After installing the septic tank, the wastewater, which is also known as your uh, septage basically. Okay, the wastewater coming out from the septic tank um, can be connected to the common drainage system. Okay, if there is a drainage system provided by centralized drainage system, then you can also connect that particular wastewater to the drainage system if their provision is there. Okay, so basically this is overall, this is all about your septic tank. Okay, so basically we're going to discuss about again in detail about different component of septic tank and how it works. So in general, we already discussed about different or how it's work we have discussed. So I'll show you one diagram of septic tank. Yeah, I think it is visible, right? Wait. Okay. So it is a very basic diagram of septic tank. So you can say this is a household. This is a pipeline connected to the um, toilet, or you can say latrine. Okay, and the waste is coming through this inlet pipe. Okay, it is known as sewage or sewage enters from house. Okay, and one bend pipe or T pipe is connected. This is your first chamber, this is your second chamber. Okay, you can also go for three chamber also. So basic mechanism is what? The waste water with the solid waste will come as a influent. Okay, it will come in the first chamber, and through the anaerobic decomposition by the bacteria present in the waste, it's go break down the waste matter, and the waste matter will fall in the first chamber as a sludge. They will settle here. Okay, and the waste particle which are lighter than water, they will flow. They will float in the top surface of the water, and they create a kind of a layer. Okay, and this is known as basically scum, and this is scum layer. Okay, fine. And this second chamber, okay, this diagram is not properly designed. I will show a different diagram. Anyway, so the water from the first chamber, it will next go to a second chamber again, and that particular water again may contain different waste matter. Again, the particular waste matter may fall down here. The maximum waste will settle in the first chamber only. This in the second chamber also there is a facility for the settlement of the waste. After that, the wastewater will be taken out as a effluent. Okay, the wastewater goes to the drain field, whatever it is. Okay, and some manhole and inspection pipe also be installed at the top roof of the septic tank. Okay, so I'll show you a different picture, different diagram. Let's see whether it is there or not. Yeah, this is also kind of a technically sound diagram, you can say. So this is a basic 3D diagram of a septic tank of two chamber. Okay, so this is the inlet pipe. That means the waste from the household latrine, the waste come from this direction. Okay, this is a first chamber, and suppose after decomposition of the waste by the anaerobic bacteria, the waste settled here. Okay, which is also known as sludge, and nearby the inner chamber there will be a buffer wall construction. Okay, this is a buffer wall. So basically buffer wall is constructed here to maintain the proper flow of the wastewater into the different channel. Okay, to maintain the flow of water and not should not be disturb the scum layer. Okay, we should not disturb the scum layer because the decomposition of the waste is going on in this particular layer. This is scum layer. Okay, we should not disturb this layer. Okay, so this buffer wall is created here. Two kind of buffer wall can be constructed. One is your buffer wall nearby the inlet pipe, and second buffer wall can be constructed here nearby the outlet pipe. Okay, two buffer wall can be constructed here. I think somewhere also written here. So buffer wall is generally provided near the outlet pipe. Buffer wall serve as the breakers for the incoming sewage. Such walls also prevent the congestion of blockades of the outlet pipe by the outflow of the influent, basically. Okay, so we'll discuss about different component of the septic tank. Okay, where am I? Yeah, here. So let's come to septic tank here. So basically, septic tank eliminate the waste by using the natural filtering process of the soil. That means the waste. Soil means here the soil term is used for the waste basically. Okay, this is because the night soil, na? So basically it's a night soil. The septic tanks eliminates the waste by using the natural filtering process of the night soil basically. The wastewater is first filtered by the septic tank before ending up in the leach field or drain field. Bacteria are filtered by the soil once the wastewater is out of the septic tank, which makes the water safe to reuse. Okay. The use of septic tanks allows for local water tables to be naturally replenished. Okay. The local water table benefit the wildlife in the area and septic tank and contributes to this cycle of recycling wastewater. Basically, this is a conclusion for septic tank. Okay, we'll come to the later part. Okay, so basically we'll go for studying about detail of septic tank. So a septic tank can be defined as a primary sedimentation tank. So it is the kind of sedimentation tank you are familiar with water treatment plant. Even in the water treatment plant, there is a provision for sedimentation tank. Okay, so what is the purpose of sedimentation tank? In the sedimentation tank, the solid matter which are heavier than water are allowed to settle in the bottom. Okay, same mechanism can be applied in septic tank. Okay, in septic tank, the waste which are heavier than water are allowed to settle at the bottom. So you can also consider this is a kind of a septic tank. Oh, sorry, it's kind of a sedimentation tank. Okay, so sedimentation tank can be defined as a primary sedimentation tank with large detention time. So what is detention time basically? So detention time is that particular time of a sustainable detention time is a sustainable time of a particular waste. Okay, that means you are considered wastewater or waste solid. For what time interval or the duration of time the particular wastewater is treated in a particular treatment plant is basically detention time. Okay, okay. So particular wastewater, the time required for the wastewater to treat in a particular treatment plant, it is known as detention time. Okay. So for a septic tank, it has a larger detention time. That means a waste may be stored in a septic tank for a larger time. Okay, which is maybe ranges from 12 to 36 hours, and it is which is 2 hours in ordinary sedimentation tank. So ordinary sedimentation tank, that means the for water treatment plant, a particular water uh, exists in a particular sedimentation tank, say for 2 hours. That means after 2 hours, the particular water will go out of the sedimentation tank. But in case of septic tank, a particular wastewater will be there in a septic tank at least for 12 to 36 hours. Okay, basically this is your detention time. Okay, so we can say detention type of septic tank is higher than ordinary sedimentation tank. Okay, so in unsewered rural or urban areas, septic tanks are suitable for disposal of night soil. Okay, but sufficient water should be available as water is required for flow of the night soil from the latrine to the septic tank. That means if you also use the flush type of uh, latrine or flush type of technology in your even in your own domestic use purposes, right? So the particular water, it will take the waste. Okay, the particular waste flow along with the water, and the water directed the waste to the septic tank basically. So we require the water in septic tank. Okay, that means a sufficient amount of water should be available as water is required for the flow of night soil from the latrine to the septic tank. Okay, and for proper functioning of the septic tank. Even for the functioning of the septic tank, we require water in the particular tank. Okay, it means in the chamber. The size of the septic tank is so designed that the sewage is retained in the tank for 24 hours, during which certain biological decomposition by the action of the anaerobic bacteria takes place, which liquefies and breaks down the night soil, leaving small quantity of soil, which is also known as sludge, and settle at the bottom of the tank. And the clear water, which is also known as effluent, flows out of the tank. So in this particular statement, the whole basic mechanism of the septic tank is explained. That means how a particular septic tank works in digesting digesting the waste basically. Okay, so the size of the septic tank is so designed the sewage is retained in the tank for 24 hours. Okay, during this time period, the anaerobic bacteria kill the night soil by decomposition. Basically, it is known as biological decomposition, and which is done by the action of anaerobic bacteria. This is also known as anaerobic decomposition. Okay, and the result of this anaerobic decomposition, the night soil, the heavy night soils are break down into smaller parts, and a smaller quantity of the soil, that is smaller quantity of the night soil, retain or settle and at the bottom of the chamber or bottom of the septic tank, and they are known as sludge. Okay, they settle at the bottom of the tank. And finally, the wastewater come out of the septic tank as effluent. Okay, the effluent from the septic tank, that means the wastewater coming from out of the septic tank, is usually disposed by adsorption in the soil through soak pit. Okay, so I already told you now the soak pit can be attached to the septic tank, where the effluent water, the wastewater coming out of the septic tank, can be stored in the can be stored in the soak pit, where the water is allowed to soak into the ground, and it is can be adopted if no municipal drainage system is prevailing. That means if there is no drainage system is available to connect, we can go for constructing a soak pit. And if there is a decentralized uh, drainage system facility, you can also connect the septic tank with the drainage system so that the wastewater or effluent coming from the septic tank can flow in the municipal drainage system. Okay, if municipal drainage line exists in the area, the effluent is discharged to the drain, basically. Okay, it is to be noted that disinfection agent such as bleaching powder, phenyl, etc., should not be used as cleaning latrine. Okay, so like the way of the disinfection used for uh, water, there are different approach for disinfection of water, right? Even bleaching powder is also one of the um, component that can be used for disinfection of water. But you should not go for disinfecting the septic tank or septic tank water. Why? Because going disinfecting, you are going to kill that bacteria basically. And if you can kill the bacteria, if you kill the bacteria, the digestion of the waste will not be occur. So for the digestion of the waste or decomposition or biological decomposition of the waste, we require bacteria in the septic tank. Okay, that means it is noted that disinfection agent such as bleaching powder, phenol should not be used in cleaning latrines. Okay, basically we are not going to use this particular bleaching powder, phenol in latrines, because this particular, if you're using bleaching powder, phenol to wash the latrine in a household, that particular bleaching powder or phenol mixed water will go to the where? It will go to the septic tank finally, right? And if that particular bleaching powder or phenol added water will go to a septic tank, it will kill the bacteria. Okay, and it will reduce the rate of decomposition of the sludge basically. Okay, or the decomposition of the night soil. So it should not be used in cleaning the latrines, as disinfectant entering the septic tank kills the bacteria growth, as a result of which the rate of biological decomposition is retarded. So in some, maybe in some competitive exam or in some viva, this kind of question may ask. Okay, so this kind of a very you should remember this. Okay, you should not go for disinfecting the toilet or latrine by using bleaching powder basically. Fine. Why? The result is here. Okay, the answer is here. Okay, so you can say this is a schematic diagram of a septic tank here. Fine. So anyway, I want to close the class, stop the class for now here. In next class, I will going to go in discussing about with detail about this with different component of the septic tank. Okay, like inlet pipe, outlet pipe, then manhole, roof slab, okay, bottom slab. All these things we're going to discuss in next class. Fine. So with this, I just want to close my sharing here. Okay. So let me take your attendance. After that, I will take a break for say. Let's discuss. Okay. After let me take first attendance, then we'll take a some time break. Then again, we'll going to rejoin. Okay. Thank you. Wait a second. Okay, please switch on our video so that I can take your attendance. Today is 25. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop the recording. I'm stopping the recording, okay?